You are listening to the Marry Your Future podcast with Christina Armstrong, where we help you break up with your past so you can marry your future. Christina is an author, singles coach, and speaker who is passionate about helping women journey from breakup to boss up. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode.
So, healing. Let's talk about it. I have been on a journey of healing for the last year and a half. And it's so frustrating when you think you've dealt with something and the Lord brings it back up. But He does that because He loves us. And I'm learning that God is really about people. And there's interactions and there's things and there's people that you will see and people that you deal with. And He will not allow your insecurity, your trauma to bleed unto them. And we all know the saying, hurt people hurt people. Well, how do you end that cycle? You end that cycle by healing. Just this past weekend, the Lord had me watch Moana. And He didn't just have me watch it once, but He had me play it, watch it. It went off and He was like, watch it again. I was like, are you serious? And as I'm watching Moana, I'm sitting in here bawling as I'm thinking about the revelation of what happened. And if you've ever seen Moana, you know that Moana feels the sea calling her. She has to save her village, and she has to do that by going to get, what's that guy's name? The Rock. I can't remember what his name is in the movie, but she goes to Maui. She goes to get him, and they have to restore the heart. And God is showing me each character. He's showing me Maui, He's showing me Moana, and He's showing me Tahiti, and He's showing me and all three of these characters. And so Maui ends up stealing the heart of Tahiti. She ends up turning into this hard, calloused, rock, volcanic creature that doesn't let anybody near. She's guarded. She is not open. And things begin to die. Land begins to die. The trees begin to die. The fruit stops flourishing. The coconuts turn bad. Like, all of this is happening over time as she stays in this hard, callous place. And God was showing me, this is what happens when you don't heal. And Moana had to really deal with the idea of going against her father's fears, going against his wishes. But she was called. This was her life's mission. And so I got to see all of these characters, and even Maui realizing that his family, his parents had rejected him. And he had spent all this time. The reason he stole the heart of Tahiti was so that he could give it to a gift to the humans, because his parents were human. They rejected him, and he was trying so hard to win the affection of the people that were like his family. And so God was just really just showing me throughout this movie. And I had a moment where God said, hey, I want to deal with this traumatic event. And I was like, oh, God, it's cool. We already dealt with that. It's not that big of a deal. For me, I'm comparing what I've been through with other people. I'm like, man, there's other people that have been through worse things. There's other people who've experienced so many, so much more. Like, God, is not that big of a deal. And the Lord used my daughter. And He said to me, He said, Christina, if what happened to you happened to Abigail, would it be a big deal? And immediately this anger builds up in me. I'm like, yes, it would be a big deal. Like, no, this will never happen to her. She will never experience this. And I'm just going off. And He said, why would it be a big deal? And I said, God, that's my daughter. And I stopped mid-sentence because light bulb, I realized He was saying to me, and you're my daughter. Wow. Like, And I had to accept in that moment that this was important to God, that He wants to heal me of this, that He wants me to walk through this because it's important. It does matter, and it grieved Him. What happened to me grieved Him. And I do what I naturally do when I feel like crying or when I feel like it's just been a heavy day. I go and I take a hot shower, and I'm in the shower, and these questions start to come up and start to bubble up in me that I've never thought. It's questions like, would I have experienced this if I was somewhere else? Or why did this person allow this to happen? Or what did this do? Or what? And all of these questions are just spewing out of me. And I'm like, God, what is happening? And He said, I want to heal you of this. And I thought it was so sweet because He said to me, Christina, healing requires your participation. He said, my goal, I want to heal you. I want to restore your innocence. And He said, I want to heal that little girl. Will you allow me to do that? And I was like, what? But it just reminded me of how much a gentleman He is. And for me, it's like, God, I don't want to deal, like, this is hard work. This healing thing is draining. It's exhausting. Like, could I just go to sleep and wake up and be healed? Can we do that route? And it's like, no. Healing requires your participation. When you go in for surgery, you have to sign a consent. You have to go to the hospital. You have to allow them to give you the anesthesia, and then the doctor can do his job. But there is a journey. There is certain protocols that you have to take to be healed. And so I had to be honest. And I had to say, okay, God, if this is important to you, then it's important to me. Okay, God, if you want to heal me, if you want to restore the little girl, I'll give you my yes. I'll give you my yes. But God, I'm scared. God, I'm scared to address these things that I pushed down. I'm scared to address all the things that I lied and said, oh, it's cool, when really it's not. And then I had the revelation of, I don't know how to be fathered. I didn't grow up with my father in the house, and the man that was in the house was very abusive. So my idea of my picture of what I thought God was like, was skewed based on what I grew up around. And so I had to have an honest conversation. I had to say, God, I don't know how to be fathered. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how to let you in. I don't know how to be soft. I don't know how to be gentle. I don't know how to be the healed version of Tahiti where she's flourishing and things are growing because she's where she's supposed to be. She's living how she's supposed to be. She's healed and whole. God, I don't know how to do that. And it went back to the question, will you allow me the space to heal you? I don't know what you need to heal from. I don't know if it's childhood trauma. I don't know if it's sexual abuse. I don't know if it's a rejection from a parent. I don't know if it's the death of a child. I don't know what you have to heal from. But I want to encourage you that God wants you healed. And not that fake healing that religion does when it goes, oh, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. No. I want you to experience the healing that seeps through your pores. You ever been around somebody that all they ate was cold cuts and you can smell it coming out of their pores? Or, you ever been out with someone and they were drinking the night before and you can smell it coming out of their pores? that healing, I want it to come out of our pores like that. That we respond differently, that we hear differently, that we act differently because we're actually healed. That's what the Lord desires. But it's going to require your participation. Are you willing to sign the surgical consent? Are you willing to sit and allow the Lord to bring up the memory so that he can deal with them? Are you ready to look face to face with that traumatic event? Are you ready to break up with the things that were sent to destroy you? Too many times we are trying to tolerate what was sent to kill us. Too many times we're making accommodations for our trauma. Oh, that's a trigger, so I won't go there. No, heal. Be restored. We serve a good God. He's a God that restores. And his restoration is so much better. When we heal, we get to receive the things that God has for us. When we heal, we get to walk through the doors that he has for us. Because we're our authentic self. We're who he created us to be. I can't say that it's going to be easy. I can't say that it's going to be the most comfortable thing. But what I can say is that we can trust God to be our healer. So I encourage you, sign the consent. Allow the Lord to heal. And let's become who he's called us to be. It's worth it. You're worth it. And I can't wait for you to get on the other side of this. So yeah, remember, in order to marry your future, you'll have to break up with your past. Until next time.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to check out the website at itschristinaarmstrong.com for more content. And remember, God can't heal who you pretend to be. It's time you break up with your past so you can marry your future.